Welcome back. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I'm Pastor Joe Fox. This is part 2 of the actions you should take, immediate actions, initial steps you should take in the event of some catastrophe. Steps that will keep you alive if you do them, and steps that if you fail to do them, the situation could bite you. Right? Okay, so we have all linked up at our link up point. We have accountability for everybody. We have security. At this time, it might be time to move to your primary location. If your link up point is not at your primary location, then it's time to move to your primary location. Once you have everybody, you should brief the plan for the move. Again, we don't have time in this video to discuss convoys and patrolling and things like that, but you shouldn't just say, all right, everybody, you ready? We're going to go now. We're all going home now. Ready? Get in the cars. Let's go. You should discuss quickly the plan. We're going to do this. We're going to take this route. If there's a problem on this route, we're going to transition to this route. If we have to and the car breaks down, we're all going to get out. You make sure you grab the radio, you grab the whatever, and let's keep moving like that. You know, just brief the plan to the people so everyone's on the same sheet of music, and then move expeditiously to your primary initial point, wherever that is. You know, and I tell people all the time, your plan A should be stay at home or get home. If you live in a place now that is going to be untenable in some kind of bad situation, you need to move now. Right? That always gets me hate mail when I say that. But, you know, hey, it's your life. Do what you want. But you need to get to your primary location, to your number one point. Now, once you get there, once you get to your primary location, what do you think you're going to do? You're going to establish security. And your security posture has to be through the roof now. Life has changed. Life as you know it has changed, possibly never to be the same again. And so you need to have a plan to secure your primary location. And so get that established before you do anything else. You know, the first person out of the car should be pulling security once you get there, or who shows up and walks in. Assign tasks to people. Here's the deal. Everyone is going to be a little panicky. That might not be the right word. A little excited. You know, this has never happened before. People are going to be scared. And so you need to give people something to do, something constructive to do within their capabilities, within their maturity level. And, you know, those can be anything that they're capable of doing. You can assign a little child, hey, all right, get the dog and go tie it up to the clothesline pole. You know, maybe it's something like that, but give everybody something to do. Security is one of those things. Stand here and watch. If you see anybody driving down the road, holler so daddy can come see, you know, something like that. What I like to do is establish what I call the EOC, the Emergency Operations Center. It's the place where information comes in, and it's the place where all the information is disseminated to the group. You know, one-stop shopping. This can be the living room. It can be the office. It could be the kitchen. It could be the ham radio shack. It could be the guest quarters, you know, that you have outside. It could be wherever you designate it, but it's the place where you're going to hang your maps. Maybe you're going to have your radios going. It's the place where you're going to have a whiteboard where you list the rosters of tasks that you're going to assign people, and we're fixing to talk about that. Things like that. It's the place where everybody can come for information. And so this is the Emergency Operations Center. You should probably get that up and running. The next thing, and you're doing a lot of these things simultaneously, but next thing on my list, if you will, is water. You know, you can live 3 days without water. Now, I know that you have water stored at your place. I do. But store more. You know, fill the bathtubs, fill every container with potable water as long as the water is running. It won't go to waste, all right? You'll be able to use it. And so get somebody working on that. Consider what I call resource security, and I'll give you an example. At High Prairie Acres, where I happen to be right now, we have a community watch on steroids, right? We have good neighbors out here. It's kind of out in the country, and a lot of my neighbors have cattle, and their pasture runs right up to the road, right? It's like 6-strand barbed wire, and right inside the barbed wire they have like an electric fence. It's on these little poles, and it keeps the cattle from pushing against the barbed wire. But the cattle graze right up to the road. In the event of a situation, we've already decided we are moving that electric fence back 50 yards immediately into the pasture. And the reason we're doing that is we don't want somebody to be able to drive by, shoot a cow, get out with a chainsaw, cut off a back leg, and get moving. You know, this way, if it's 50 yards in, they've got to clear 50 yards of dead space. You know, it makes it a little bit more difficult. And so secure those resources. If you have goats in the back 40, maybe you want to bring them up closer to the house. If you have a tractor and some gasoline over there, maybe you want to bring it over here. You know, consolidate your resources to the level that you can secure them. Now I know there's a place and a time for having, you know, little hidey holes and things like that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about things that are obviously resources that other people may panic or may have already planned to take. You know, there are bad people out there who plan things like that. Start information gathering and information disseminating, passing out information. You know, if you have electricity, get the radio on. If you don't have electricity, crank your little hand crank radio, right, or your battery radio if it works, if the spectrum's working. Get that information coming in. Get your TV on. Use your cell phone. Use the regular landline if anyone still has one of those. You know, get all those electronic means. Get on the internet. You know, if you can, suck that information in, and then start a roster or a log of things that you know are going on. Maybe you have a map and you can put things on the map that you know are happening, a local map, a national map, a world map. You know, do like a sit rep. Interview people who are coming in, who've come in from other link-up points, who have come in from other places. Interview them, ask them questions, figure out what's going on. They may have some information that's vital to the rest of the group, and then put that information out to people. People always want to know what's going on, and you don't want rumors to fly, but you do want to get the information out there, and because it makes people not worry as much when they know that everything we know is being passed out. You may have to modify your plans based on information that you have coming in. You know, maybe plan A was to stay right here, and then you find out, oh no, there's a poison gas cloud coming, it's going to be here in 20 minutes. All right, load up the vehicles, we're out of here again, right? So something like that. So have this information flow going. Implement a duty roster, right? You know, who's going to clean dishes, who's going to be on security. We don't want to, you know, when you get out of the car and you arrived at your primary location and you told Uncle Ned, pull security on the road, make sure nobody comes in our driveway, don't forget about Uncle Ned, right? So if you have a roster that helps you keep a rotation going of people, this roster should already be developed. You should develop the roster now and just have it ready to go in a little book. Everyone, here's chores that need to be done. We're just going to put names across from the chores. We're going to do it in 2-hour shifts, 4-hour shifts, 1-hour shifts, you know, whatever you can do. But start a security roster, start a task roster, that kind of thing. You have to have somebody awake 24 hours a day, awake and watching. They have to be awake and watching, and there has to be a plan to get everybody else moving, right, and able to respond to the Minuteman call, if you will. And then finally, for this section, for this video, you may want to establish your aid station, your dispensary, your crash room. You know, a lot of people have a lot of medical supplies in bins and boxes and things like that. You might want to get them out, because guess what? There's no 911, right? And so if somebody has an accident or something, you want to be ready to deal with it immediately. Something I forgot to add, so I guess that wasn't the final thing. Get ready to fight a fire. You know, there's no firemen coming if a fire happens. So get your hoses out, get your water going. Again, I don't have time in this video to talk about that, but Southern Prepper One has a series of videos on homestead firefighting, and they're very good. I suggest you go watch them. But be ready to deal with things like that, you know, kind of mundane things. If the electricity's out and you're going to oil lamps and you don't normally live that way, you know, you may have to fight a fire. Have fire extinguishers. Have people assigned to watch things. So start thinking about that at your primary location. In the next video, we're going to talk about expanding out from your primary location. I hope I see you out there.